Hey everyone, welcome to or welcome back to Overspeed Shop. On this episode, we're going to go ahead and cover the tear down of the actual quarter panel. So we're going to remove all the quarter panel, all the busted up metal, and get it down to where I can install a mini tub and the new inner well and a new quarter panel. So stand by and enjoy the video. So far what I've done is I've just taken a wire wheel to all the seams here. And when I did that, I found that nice hole. So that's definitely something I'm glad I'm replacing the whole panel with. So yeah, I went around and just cleared out all the spot welds so I can cut them. So for the most part, I am going to cut the spot welds out to remove it. I'm going to try to just pull this back and get it out because I was going to buy a new roof because it's got a couple spots that need repair, but overall it's not too bad. I got a hole right here which can be easily fixed. And this piece right here, that I'm pretty sure I can make a patch panel for that, just out of some 16 gauge or even 18. And the rest of it's pretty solid. I mean, it's all factory, so there's no real, hasn't been worn down at all. But in some of these places, I'm sure like across here, when I get to this point, I'm gonna cut with a wire wheel, or I'm sorry, a cut-off wheel, cut that out. And then I'll get the spot welds out from this side. And then when I actually put it back in, I'll weld it from up inside there. But there's no reason to try to cut them out from, I don't know if you can even see that up in there, but there's no reason to try to cut those welds out from the inside when this whole quarter panel's pretty much shot anyways. It's all, I mean, this is all warped and banged up right through here. And back through here, you can see that it's actually already separated down the lower panel here. So that should be pretty easy to get off. I'll probably just take a wire or a cutoff wheel to all that too. And that way I can just get those spot welds out from the outside, and then I can just weld them from the inside because I can just go back in through here and weld that up. So yeah, so that's where we're at with that. And then here's the new quarter panels. I was playing around, I put the tubs in there. But the only thing I found on these is, of course, the one that's the worst damaged is the one that actually has damage already. I think I'm just glutton for punishment when it comes to left side quarter panels. Every single one of my Firebirds has had damage on there. But this was dented here, and you get these 3 scratches here, which actually do show. Don't know if you can see it. Probably won't be able to see it on this side, but they come out. So I'm gonna take a hammer and dolly to that just to try to flatten that out and then try to get it as flat as possible. So, yep, so there's a new quarter panel. There's the right side quarter panel. I am gonna replace both of them, even though the one on the passenger side isn't as bad, but there's some rust in it. So I'm definitely gonna take my time with that one. Try to get it off as much in one piece as possible in case somebody else might need it. Because I got the dent right there is a big one and some cancer back there. That I'm just gonna get rid of since it was just as easy to buy the two, and you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna have the whole thing apart anyways, doing the mini tub. And when I have the quarter panels off, I'm gonna do the mini tub. That way it's easy access rather than having to climb through here. I can just go in from the side. It'll be really nice. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting some of these spot welds. I might videotape some of that because you really don't want to sit here for hours and hours while I cut these things out. So I'll probably get back to you when I'll probably demonstrate a couple spot weld cuts, and then I'm just gonna end up cutting the rest of it out. And you know, next time you'll see it, it'll be fully gone. All right. All right, so when I'm doing spot welds, like these ones right here, you can kind of see them where they're still a little bit dark from me grinding it down. First thing I do is I like to pop it or do a little pilot hole. So an 1/8 inch pilot hole right in the middle of a spot weld. And this is gonna be on the outside, so I'll be actually welding into the new piece, so it won't really matter. So I do that, and I just go through and I get all the spot welds and so I start it like that with a pilot hole. Then I've got 3 different styles here. I got a blue point kit that has a bunch of different sizes. 3/8 seems to work the best that I found out over the time. So That's what I'm going to be using for most of this, are these 3/8. And you see that they got a little point in there. That's what you use. That's what I use for the counter, or for the pilot hole. So I have those, that one, which is a blue point kit. I have this Blair kit, which is a little smaller one. It's got the tool and another extra pin and a couple bits. Those are all 3/8 as well. And then the ones I use the most are these reversible ones that I actually got from Harbor Freight, I believe. They do break, and when they try to reverse them, the only problem you run into is they're kind of hard to get off there. But you know, if you use a pair of vice grips and a vise or something, you can get them off and then flip them and reverse them. So that's what we're using for these spot welds, and I'll show you how they work. We find one that's got teeth on it still. So that one's got some teeth on it, so I'll go ahead and use that one. Let's just get in there and you see rust. When you see that rust, that means you've broken through that first layer. And then you can stop at that point and you go on to the next one. Whoops, I went all the way through on that one, but like I said, it doesn't matter because I'm replacing this panel's getting replaced no matter what. So that's how you do a spot weld and cut it out. Try not to go that far, but again, like I said, the back piece is getting replaced, it doesn't matter, so I just got a bigger, I'll be spot welding through this anyways. So that's pretty much it for doing your spot weld cuts. All right, so a continuation from yesterday. I think yesterday we started with the just showing you the spot weld cutting, and now I'm down to where I got the fender pretty much all the way off. You can see how this area right here is all mangled from the accident, whatever happened however many years ago. So I got a new piece for that right there, so that's going to be replaced. I just fabricated a little piece of trunk floor because it's not going to be very big. It's going to be like maybe 12 inches by like 3 inches when I'm done. So I just fill that in with a piece of sheet metal. But yeah, so this is where we're at right now. So working on getting all the rest of so I just ended up cutting it, but I've gone through and done all the spot welds through here. Now I'm working on this area here, which is a big pain in the butt, and I broke all my bits at this point. So I have to cut all the old stuff out of here, everything underneath there, get the old fender skirts out, fender wells, and then I can start doing the mini tub. But I want to get all this stuff out first. You can see the big crunch right there too, that dented it, it pulled it right off, so that should actually make it easy to get it off for me. So that should be shouldn't be too bad getting the rest of that fender off, or that quarter panel off. So that's where I'm at right now. Just a whole lot of time and a whole lot of spot weld cutters because they're breaking left and right. All right, so the quarter panel's on. That concludes this video. Yeah, not quite. Let's go ahead and check this out. I just wanted to stick it on there just to see. So we're gonna go ahead and lock everything in here again. And show you where we're at. All right, so I just wanted to sit it on there just to see what it looked like on the new quarter panel. Where we're actually at. Is here. All right, so you can see I got the entire quarter panel out, a lot of the inner fender out. I removed this piece right here that's going to be, this will replace. And that goes under there like that. It's a filler piece. Well, that ain't right. Maybe it is. No. Yeah, that's right. So that goes in there to replace that piece. And like I said, I'll have a piece of flooring I'll have to replace on that side of it. So that's where we're at. I got most of the outer fender, outer wheel well out. So we go in and remove the rest of this today. Get this inner out, and then I'll start doing the Detroit Speed mini tub kit. So that's where we're at right now. I got most of the old sheet metal off, so I can start working on doing the install on the new parts. So that's where we're at. We're getting down into this here. Got all these cut out. If you notice, oops, how I've actually bent those out a little bit. That's because the new quarter panel, the new inner fenders need to actually go behind this piece. So when I get the new fenders in there, new inner fenders in there, I will, you know, hammer and dolly that back so it's straight and flat. And the next thing is some more extent of the damage. So here's some more, damn wheels. So as far as the extent of the damage goes, see this right here? That little bracket right there is supposed to be straight up and down. So that, when this thing took the hit to this quarter panel, it pushed that up. So this wheel well is actually pushed up into it. Everything else I've checked, it's actually just, it's a matter of just straightening that out, bringing it down, and then I'll put the inner fenders back into place where they're supposed to be. So that's pretty much it, where we're at right now. You can see I've already got the hinge bracket off. I did that 5 years ago when I first started this project. I was gonna do the main tub then. And so now what's just left is cutting these old inner fenders out and then modifying this area here to accept the 2-inch wider wheel wells. So they'll be making some different, I'll be putting those in here in a bit. Well, not in a bit, but you know, getting these all cut out and sizing them up and getting them ready to go in. So that's where we're at right now. Got some more spot welds that come out from underneath there. And yeah, so we're getting close. All right, so we are now to the point where we can start installing stuff. And we still gotta cut some areas out in this part here for the mini tub, the Detroit Speed mini tub. And I'm gonna do a video just on that, just cutting those pieces out and showing what you gotta do and where the, you know, the pieces we gotta fill. And so we are to the point now where I can start concentrating just on doing that and get real close to be able to clean everything up and put the quarter panel on for good. But first thing is going to be first is going to be that mini tub. So stand by for that. All right, so now that we have gotten all the sheet metal out, I just want to show you the pile that I pulled off. So this is all the pieces that came off of that. And that's all the pieces I had to cut off. That's what's left of the quarter panel. And yeah, it was beat, and you see where all those creases are at. I don't know what they hit, but all I know is this car came from Texas. A guy I knew in San Diego brought it back from there, and it was like this when he got it. It's parked in the field. He pulled it out of the field. And luckily I took it. I got a hold of it through another friend of mine, and because he was gonna actually turn it into a Camaro. But that's just blasphemy to me as far as taking a Firebird, turning to Camaro, even though it was very popular back in the day. So, but I just want to show you the carnage that was left over, or taken off, I should say. And that's going to pretty much conclude this video. And I appreciate y'all watching. And all right, well, that concludes this video on the tear down of the quarter panel and all the insides that need to come out. Basically stand by for a second part of me actually installing the kits. There's a second video coming out, gonna be out at the same time as this one, that's doing the Detroit Speed mini tub installation, at least just the frame modification and mocking up the actual inner tub. So want to check that out, go ahead and check that one out too. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. If you want to, leave a like down there, leave me a comment, let me know what I can do better and do more of, and subscribe if you want to. And again, I appreciate your time and hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.